Okay? Coping is something that your body does well, okay? Which is why you can have a problem for 15 years and still function. Okay? Any cancer, any rheumatoid arthritis, any type of chronic health problem, that problem's been in the body for a very long time. It's been sitting there. Okay? And when we talk about coping, we're actually talking about the condition. Okay? The reason why we say this is because we're now looking at what is the condition of the liver. Okay? One of the functions of the liver is it stores protein. It stores oils. It stores vitamins. It stores minerals. It stores antioxidants. Okay. What else does the liver store? Well, it stores enzymes. All this is now stored. There's also sugar, stores sugar. Okay. We have a situation where you have a condition of the liver. Does it have this? Okay. If it doesn't have this, what gets dropped out? Well, if this is your storage, okay, and this is what you need in inventory. Okay, we'll call this inventory. Your other organs in your body will now go to the liver and say, I need this, whatever it is. Okay? It could be your thyroid. It might need a protein. Okay? It could be your kidneys. It might need a protein. It could be your arteries. It might need an antioxidant. Okay. Any part of your body that needs something is going to ask for it from the liver. Okay. And if you're talking about the immune system, the bone marrow that makes the blood, it's going to need any of these, okay, proteins, oils, okay, we're talking about vitamins, antioxidants, sugar. It needs all that, okay, and these are your customers. So you have the customers looking for inventory at the liver. Okay. Now, what is the function of the liver? Well, the primary function of the liver is storage, but what it really needs to do is it needs to be detoxifying. Liver detox, okay, at all times. Okay. Well, what does the liver need to detoxify? Well, it needs this. Okay? So when we look at coping, or the condition that leads to a chronic health problem, we're saying, does the body have everything it needs at all times to prevent a deficiency? Okay? You're looking at a prevent deficiency. Okay. Well, why is that? Well, imagine you have a fire and your hose is not long enough. What are you going to do? You're going to switch to buckets. Okay. How fast can you put out a fire with a fire hose versus a bucket. Okay? If you were to store water, would you rather create a dam and put all your water in the dam, or would you put them in 5-gallon bottles of water? How many 5 gallons of bottles of water do you need to keep the city with enough water? Okay? And it's about deficiency. Okay? It's about how fast, okay, to prevent deficiency. And that's been the biggest problem right now, is you have some medical doctors saying, well, those people who've eaten vegetables and spices and fruit, they eat all these foods from all over the country, all over the world, and now you could prevent cancer. Prevent cancer. Okay? So that means you're preventing a deficiency. Okay? You could prevent autoimmune disease. Okay? You could prevent degeneration. Okay? You can prevent inflammation. Okay? All this is saying there's some level of deficiency that created this health problem. Okay? Now, if you wanted to now try an alternative route, which is now this health problem, okay? Now you can't work, you can't sleep, you have this tumor growing in your body, you're in constant pain, you can't digest food, whatever you have going on, how fast can you get something going to go and prevent this deficiency? Okay? And that's where the combination of herbs and nutrition can help increase this process. Okay? And if you increase it fast enough, it actually looks like there's enough restoration and there's enough body doing its thing that the body can actually restore function. And it can actually restore the condition that prevents this health problem. Okay? What if we look at it from a graph, okay, and we say, well, this is where I was, okay, and this is where I was 5 years later, and I was here 5 years later, and I was here 5 years later, and I was here 5 years later. Okay? Okay. Now what we're saying now is, what if each step of the way there was a very specific thing that happened that led to this downward spiral? Okay? Is there a way to, how fast to prevent the deficiency? How fast can you move this process back up to now where now they're feeling a little bit better, maybe a lot better, and back to normal? Okay? Whatever it is it possible to do that? It's about how fast you can get into the system. Okay? Now, the one thing we've been trying to figure out is speed, and I've been looking at speed, and it's been speed of absorption. Okay? How fast can you get vitamin C into the body every day? How fast can you get protein into the body right away? How fast can you get the antioxidant into the cell that needs it right away? Okay? How do you improve the circulation in the lymphatic system as fast as possible? Okay? These are all the questions of speed. Okay? Whatever the nutrient is, I could make it into a pill, you can take it, and now we wait to see if your body can absorb it, Can the circulation now take it to the place where it's needed? Can that area now absorb it, okay, to create the effect we need? We don't know. Okay. Is there a way to improve on that? Okay. That's been my ultimate question, is how to speed up the process so you can, the speed of a process, okay, to prevent a deficiency. Okay. Okay. And it's about pushing something into the body and then getting the body to react to it right away. And then you move on to the next step and next step and next step, because now you're moving up through the conditions. Okay? And that's been the challenge for me. And that's when we look at nutrition, we're looking at, it's not, you know, which brand of vitamin C are we taking? Is this form of vitamin C in the tablet or capsule form, or does it have to be in the oil-based form to get into the body? Okay? And now when you take a look at proteins, do you have to eat a piece of meat, or do you take a protein shake, or do you have to take very specific proteins based on what your body needs to process out the detoxification, which will free up. If you free up the detox over in the liver, now the customers of the liver now can have access to the proteins. Otherwise, the liver is going to hold on to it if it doesn't have enough. If the liver doesn't have enough protein, what are you going to do? Well, the liver is the priority. Okay? Maybe the heart is too. But you can imagine now certain organs are not going to get what they need because they are not a higher priority. Okay? It's like splitting a piece of steak. You buy a steak, 16 ounces, 1 pound, for one person to eat. That's a lot of steak. Then you have a party. You invite another person. Okay? Now you have 2 people eating this 16-ounce steak. Okay? And they invite more people. Now you have 20, 30 people now looking at this 16-ounce steak. Okay? It's not going to be enough anymore. Okay? And that's been the condition we have right now with the body coping at different levels with different nutrients. Okay? And when we're looking at the medical research on what has been done from a nutrition to prevent it, now we're looking at, well, if it could prevent it, if you have the problem, is it possible to speed up the process as much as possible, naturally, to prevent the deficiency? Because as you prevent the deficiency, your body will start moving up on the conditions. Okay? And that's what the analysis is looking at. And this is the whole concept of coping.